so glad you could join me here today. Today we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting. I hope you could follow along with me. Then we have the render colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. This time around I have a gallery canvas, so it's little different quality. Um, but on top of the canvas, I got some, I believe it's burnt umber, just washed on top, and then with a little bit of white, same here at the bottom. And over here I just have burnt umber. This is all done in acrylics. I let it to dry for several days already. It's completely dry. I have my liquid clear to the side so we can work on it. Now let's just get started with today's painting. Today I thought we can do a nice simple seascape, something nice, something along the shore. So I'm gonna just go take my brush straight into Prussian blue. This brush doesn't work. Let's see if this one does. Yep, it works a little better. Now, I don't need to cover all of it. If it shows a little bit of the burnt umber underneath, I'm completely fine with it. It kind of gives it a little bit more of a character. So we can scrub it right on. Just scrubbing it on. Sure, it doesn't matter how you get the paint on. All that matters is how it looks towards the end. Okay, just loading up my brush and going at it. Now this brush was previously used for liquid white, so that's why you may see a little bit of white, or the color kind of getting lighter. That's the only reason. So if you want to do this, you can add a little bit of liquid white in there and it should do the same effect as what's happening right now. I just ran out of liquid white. I have to mix up a batch. There, I'm gonna just scrub it on. Let me dip my brush in a little bit more liquid clear. Kind of like just a wash, really. Just getting color onto there. There we are. Make sure to reload your brush every time. Very, very important. There we are. So you see how you might not see it clearly, but you can see a little bit of those, little bit of the burnt umber underneath. Now, I'm going to do the same for the water. Let's just scrub it in. So, I had this spot set for my seascape, where my water is gonna go. Right now, I don't think the seascape is gonna be too much of a main point. I think it's just there, if you understand what I'm trying to get. You can hold your brush like a pencil. I hold it like this at times. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get your job done. There. There we are. All I'm doing is scrubbing it on. You can, if you have liquid clear on it, you can probably just go very lightly. If you have any medium, really. But me in particular, all I'm doing is just scrubbing. Just scrub it on. Okay, so now what I want to do is let's get some light color in that center. Something just in there to make it a little opaque. So I'm going to go into a little bit of titanium white, a little bit of that blue, very little. You know what? More white. But we also got to keep in mind it's already pretty opaque in the center. So, opaque, let me say it while doing it, not going to take a while. Opaque is a color that you can't really see underneath. So, good way to test it is with black canvases. With a black canvas, if you have an opaque color, you won't see the black underneath. Now, if you have a transparent color, well, transparent colors, just like in the name, they're transparent. You'll see straight through it. So, if you have a transparent color, like some blues are transparent, like Prussian blue, Indian yellow is transparent. I think some paint manufacturers, they have on the tube if they're transparent or not. So you can mess around and test things out based off that. So now what I want to do is get color in here. That's something important to me right now. So I'm gonna grab a simple 1-inch brush. It's a good natural bristle 1-inch. I bought it on eBay. I like to buy my stuff on eBay because nowadays if you buy it from Bob Ross or whatever, there are these cheap synthetic brushes. And at least with eBay, I could buy brushes that date back older than me. So look, all that I'm doing is just tapping in some paint. Not trying to get rid of everything, but just kind of hide it a bit. There. It's not too hard. There we are. Just tap, tap, tap. Okay. Let me load up some more. Just right here. You gotta constantly be loading, especially if there's no liquid white or liquid black, liquid clear. If you have no mediums on, it just makes it a little bit longer in the process. Okay, so we got some grass going on there. So now, what are we supposed to do? Let's go ahead, let's make a cabin. I think there should be well, hold that statement. Before I make cabins, let's make what seems to be some palm trees. So just mixing up a nice dark color. I put some alizarin crimson, Prussian blue, and a little bit of cadmium yellow mountain mixture. Just gives me this nice rich color. As you can see, fully load your brush. Now, let's come up here and let's focus on making little just shoom. Maybe. Shoom. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe this one's the tall one of the group. Maybe these stand out more to the center. Okay? And then let's just add in a couple little leafy areas on the tree. There. These are big palm trees. Big palm trees. Maybe this one needs a little stronger base right there at the bottom to hold it. Maybe this one's a little more smaller one. There. And just kind of pull the paint a little bit. And since the paint underneath has liquid clear, kind of acts like that medium in between. So it kind of helps us pull this paint just a bit. There we are. There. And all I'm going to do is load up my 1 inch and just fix up that base. Easy as that. Not too complicated. My goal is not to overcomplicate your painting journey. My goal is to make it as simple as can be. There. Just kind of pull. There. There we are. Very simple, and you already have the indication of distant palm trees. Maybe they don't have too much detail, and I don't want them to have too much detail because then they steal the spotlight and they don't like sharing. You don't want a tree that doesn't want to share the spotlight, and don't give it the spotlight. But it's a good background thing, object. I said thing. Yeah. And just tap on. Now, let's go ahead. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of mountain mixture to that color. Just add a little bit. Whew. And with that same fan brush, what I'm going to do is load my brush full with paint. As you can see, it's more darker right off the bat. Let's come up here. With the corner of the brush, all I'm going to do is just do an indication of a fence. There. Maybe it starts connecting. Maybe there's one here, maybe one here, one here, one there. Load up your brush. Don't be scared to use the paint. Maybe one right there, just to kind of block off that area as well. Now, I think we should have a little highlight, just hitting it lightly, just to indicate some light would be hitting it. So I'm not gonna do a brown, I'm gonna do a nice gray, just to have a nice cool color. Because if I'm gonna put a cabin, then I want that brown to stand out more. If there's too many browns, which one do I look at? So just making this one a simple gray. And nothing wrong with the gray fence. Maybe it's made out of steel or metal. Who knows? Who knows? No judgment. This is our painting. You can create whatever you want in your painting. Now, let's go ahead and let's just start to decide where our cabin's gonna be at. Gee, I had a palette knife around here and all of a sudden I can't find it. I'm so clumsy with my things. Let's just use a smaller palette knife. These are all that I have on my table right now. So to make the cabin stand out, I'm gonna use mountain mixture, because when I use mountain mixture and I add brown in there, whew, that brown's gonna stand. So I'm gonna use that same fan brush. Let's come up here and just start making those strokes. Just little indications of where you want your cabin to be. There. There we are. And just shoom. Now you might be saying, well, that doesn't look like a cabin. It'll come together. We gotta trust the process. There. Maybe there lives another one somewhere over here. Shoom. Maybe. Actually, shoom. Let's fix that up. Change the look of it. We can always change and move around the way things look. Doesn't have to all look one way. And maybe for the last one, we gotta have 3 houses. Just something in there. There we are. There. Now, oops, dropped my palette knife. The few that I have left. I'm still trying to see if I can find it. Should be somewhere around here. No, I can't lose stuff like that. Okay. A little bit of Prussian blue. A little bit of cadmium yellow makes up a nice green color. Oh, sorry. So Prussian blue, cadmium yellow gives me that nice green. If only you guys can speak and say, hey, I can't see it. And a little bit of red. A alizarin crimson in there. Get a good pile. That's what happens when you start trusting the process too much. Then you put too much of one color. That's not good, at least for me. So I gotta even out this color where it's not too brown, not too green, not too red. So I'm just trying to mix that up. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of white. It's more on the red side. It's alright. It's okay. Now, let's just imagine the light's hitting this way. So we'll put a little bit here and a little bit there. And then we'll have it kind of trickle down. You know what? I'm gonna smooth it out with the fan brush. There. Just kind of create a design. I'm gonna grab a clean, dry fan brush and just knock it into place. Tap, knock it in. Okay? Load up a little bit more color. There. Let me add a little bit more white to some, just to make as an extra highlight. Shoo. Okay? Just here and there. Here and there and there and here. Okay? Knock it in. There. So, what I'm hoping, because we have all that going on, I'm hoping I can fix the way it looks, the little bit of grassy patterns. So just to shape the way the cabins look. There. That seems to work. Let me load up my brush a little bit more. There. There we are. And I'm gonna just very slight indication. Okay. And I'm gonna grab a little bit of dark color and just shoom, make an indication of a door. There. I gotta fix this edge. Sometimes you just gotta go back, mess around with it, see what you like, see what you don't. There. And then another door over here. Shoo. And just like that, we have a set of cabins just kind of going in there. Now, let's go ahead and we're gonna we're gonna just add in something in there, just to not make that cliff look lonely and lost and all that. There. Just let it fall really. And so now I'm gonna go into my light color and just adding it in very lightly, just to add in like a little highlight of light hitting it. And here we go again. There we are. I'm gonna add in a little more white. There. Just a few sparkles. And blend them out with the brush, just so it doesn't look too harsh. Then I'm gonna fix up the grassy area. There, just tap tap tap. Very simple. Now let's do the last one. We can knock in paint pretty quickly here. And just like so, knock it back into place. Blend it out. There. With our white, we come up here. Few little light spots hitting. Now I've been adding light spots, but we haven't been adding dark spots. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of black and just add in where I would think would go a little bit of shadow. Just where some shadow would creep in. Okay? So just little by little, adding in a couple little shadows in there. There. Very simple. Now I'm just tapping out my brush, making sure there's less paint, so when I pull down to blend it out, it can work. You can fan it out, or you can just pull down. I like to kind of fan it out. That's what the fan brush is for. That's why it has the name Fan Blender. You'll see some sites put it Fan Blender because it's meant to blend your paint, and you blend it by fanning the paint out. So that's a cool little trick. Okay, let me just fix up a little bit of that highlight on the fences, just a little bit. And then finally, we have to have a little bit of water details. So let's come up here And just with a little bit more darker color, just blocking in like distant details, just like you would do with the white paint. Do it with this darker paint. It'll make everything stand out and look 10 times better. There, just like so. Okay, now I'm going to some titanium white, and let's come up here and just, you know what, I think I have to work my way because it's gradual. There, maybe just a few little splats in there. There we are. And maybe a couple crashes in there. Maybe just we have something like this kind of go. You guys don't really see me do this often because usually we see it straight on. But what I'm going to do today, let me add some sand first. Let me grab my brush and just work it in. Maybe a little touch of the liquid white. But remember, it would get darker because less light is hitting it. So just blocking it in. You're probably asking yourself, what is he gonna do? He said I don't do that. He doesn't do it. You'll see right now. This kind of looks like wet sand, which I'm not half mad about. There, just sort of fan it out. Now, let's go into some of that white. And let's start it right here. And just go like so. Maybe it just goes in something like so. Kind of just flats out. A little bit of blue, a little bit of crimson, some dark color. Just block it in. Okay, add some white. And just kind of work those waves up. And I'm gonna just fan it out. So just work it out. Let it kind of come together. And it's little details like this that will make your painting sell. There. Shoom. Just let it kind of come right off. And then we need a little bit of foam in there. Same thing for the top one. Just a little bit. You don't have to over exaggerate it. There. Pretty damn simple. And then just sort of work different values of color. There's more of a bluish. Maybe you start seeing a little more lights. Just kind of hit it. Shoom. Look at that. Look at that. Now, let's go ahead. Let me grab my 1 inch because there's so much space out here. We can kind of build up a little island there. And let me just add on some paint in there. Just blocking in really. And then some cadmium yellow. There. Just think of the lighting. There we are. And then I want to add in a little what's going to be like dirt where you can step on the land and see what's good about it. You know what? I'm going to make this land come out all the way. Make it look nicely worked in. And just knock the rock back in. And just final details really. Yeah. Just here and there. And with that completes today's painting. I really hope you enjoy this painting. Try this painting out. It's a nice, interesting one, and you could challenge yourself. This is a good one if you're trying to sell paintings. I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my friends. Goodbye.